Are you stressed? Do you feel stressed? If so, you're not alone. 77% of service-based professionals, people like you and I who serve property owners, experience high levels of stress throughout our day. And you think about that, that's a pretty high number. However, it's not as high as the clients that we serve. You see, property owners who are going through significant life events, things like divorce, death in the family, relocation, those times where oftentimes our services are needed the most, clients experience even higher levels of stress than we do as professionals. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the definition of stress and how to alleviate it for yourself by alleviating the stress of your clients. All right, let's begin by defining stress. First and foremost, not all stress is bad. There's two types of stress. The first is good stress, known as eustress, E-U-S-T-R-E-S-S. That's the kind that challenges you. That's the kind that makes you actually feel better afterwards. Maybe not, you might be like, what? Feel better after stress? Yes, think about a great workout. Never regret a great workout. You get up, you get after it, and you feel good about yourself. That's the kind of stress that actually leads to growth, progress, right? Now there's the other kind of stress, which is the kind we don't like, which is distress. Distress is that kind of stress that isn't good for you. It's actually bad for your body. It's actually bad for your mindset. It actually causes you to not want to go do more and feel more energized. It causes you to want to do less, to pull back. That kind of stress isn't good. So the big question then is, how do you overcome distress? Or more importantly, how do you overcome it? We're all going to experience certain things that we don't like, things that we don't want to experience. So it's not about avoiding. It's really about learning how to navigate ourselves through that stress, past that stress, over that stress, beyond that stress. Okay. The first thing that we need to recognize is that when we are feeling distressed, really what we're feeling is that there's uncertainty in our future, okay? That we don't really know how things are going to turn out, and we don't even know what we can do to make it turn out better, okay? That is a clear sign that we're feeling stressed. When there's not a lot of hope for the future, it's just a lot of anxiety and uncertainty, okay? That causes stress. Now, the antithesis of that is if we were to say, I am so excited about tomorrow, about next week, about a year from now, about 5 years from now, because things are only going to get better. Now, that's what we want to feel. That's the excitement, the enthusiasm, the hope that we want to feel. So how do we get there? Well, again, uncertainty drives anxiety. Remember that. Uncertainty drives anxiety. So how do we eliminate uncertainty? It's to engage in activities that we know will produce the right outcome. For example, if we want to build a better relationship with somebody, then having productive, meaningful conversations with them, we know will produce a better relationship, okay? Now, when it comes to your professional services business, we probably can also apply a very similar principle. If we have meaningful conversations with the clients who are most inclined to be our ideal clients, then that is going to create a better business opportunity for us. Let me give you an example of something that's very simple to understand. I'm going to take that and apply that to your business. If we want to enhance and deepen a relationship with a loved one, right, it really comes down to quality and quantity time with that individual, right? Those two together, quality and quantity time, will solve almost all of our woes. Now, some people don't want a ton of time with us, right? I've got teenage boys. I understand what that feels like, what that looks like. But the quality time with as much quantity as makes sense will enhance that relationship. That's true in almost all scenarios, okay? Now in business, very similar, right? We recognize that having meaningful conversations with our ideal clients are going to produce the most amount of opportunities, right? There's some very simple parallels that we can draw. And so if we really want to have more hope and less uncertainty, then it becomes very clear that we need to do the things that we know will produce a better outcome. For example, when we are meeting with our clients and we help them to anticipate potential pitfalls and we help to navigate them around those pitfalls, then we know that we are going to have a client that's very appreciative of us. Now, I say this because what I'm doing is actually building a bridge between your stress and their stress. In other words, when we step into a client's life and we actually help them to alleviate potential pitfalls or we help them to take advantage of certain opportunities that they wouldn't have known before, right? What that is doing is creating a client loyalty that will run very deep because we actually produce something that they couldn't even see themselves. So that activity causes us to know that we're going to have a loyal client and we're going to have more clients who want to be treated that way. Now, simultaneously, it's also producing a reduction in stress from the client that we're serving. See how I bridge those two together? By you identifying what are the key stress points that my clients are experiencing, both in the client experience that I engage in with them and the times just before they meet me and just after they meet me. We start to really identify these are the times that are most stressful. These are the circumstances. And this is how I can step in and alleviate that stress for them. It opens up the opportunity for them to have distress alleviated from them. So how do we do that? Well, it's important that we recognize that the things that we are going to be able to anticipate will come, number one, from our experience, because we've dealt with enough clients, we've had enough at-bats, if you will, that we'll actually be able to see challenges and pitfalls coming or opportunities coming where we can guide them away from those or into those, right? Depending upon what they are. Additionally, in a data-driven world, if you can get your hands on data that not every other professional out there has their hands on, then you can be uniquely positioned to serve them. Now, if you've not yet heard of the Deep Dive by ProInsight, it is a tool that allows you to have visibility on all the property details of the properties that your clients own. In other words, you're looking at their entire real estate portfolio, the details of it. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. You can see stuff that the client can't even see or definitely can't interpret. Then you're able to bring solutions to them and map out a course and a path for them that lowers their stress because it increases their certainty. They now know what's going to happen. Now, as you start to do that for other clients, you will start to experience a reduction in your own stress. All of a sudden, your certainty starts to increase, your uncertainty starts to decrease, and you start to have more hope for the future, and your overall stress levels go down, as does that of your clients. In conclusion, I just want to wrap up with this, is that if you are feeling stressed, it's your own fault. And I say that lovingly, I really do. But you don't need to feel stressed because stress is so often about the future circumstance that hasn't happened yet. In other words, it's this uninvented future that you are concerned about. And the best way to have a great future is to design it and realize that you don't have to feel stressed about the future because you can have certainty about the future. And the best way for you to have certainty about the future is to eliminate the uncertainty of other people, create certainty for others, and it will create certainty for you. If this has been valuable, please do me a favor and pass this to somebody who you care about, who you maybe feel is a little stressed and could use a little bit of stress alleviation. And also, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our future episodes.